Meet Mark. Mark is 34 years old. He earns $62,000 a year. By every visible measure, he's doing fine. He has a car, an apartment, a steady job. But here's the strange part. Mark's life has changed 5 separate times. Not because of a raise, not because of a promotion. It changed because of a number. A single number sitting in his accounts. And each time that number crossed a certain line, something shifted. The way banks treated him, the way he slept at night, the way he made decisions. Most people think wealth is one long, smooth ramp. They picture a steady climb from broke to rich. It isn't like that at all. Wealth moves in steps. It moves in sudden, invisible jumps. There are 5 specific net worth levels where life stops feeling one way and starts feeling another. Cross one, and everything quietly changes. Almost nobody can tell you where those lines actually are. We're going to map all 5 with real numbers, real percentiles, and the trap hiding at each one. Here's what nobody tells you about net worth. The number itself is boring. What matters is what the number unlocks. At certain thresholds, your money stops being something you spend. It quietly becomes something that works for you. The median American household has a net worth of about $192,000. The average is over $1 million. That 5 times gap exists because of what happens at the top. A small group crosses the higher thresholds and pulls the average way up. Most people spend their entire lives stuck below the first real line. They never feel the shift at all. They assume wealthy people just have more of the same feeling they have. They don't. The feeling itself is completely different. Each level comes with its own psychology, its own trap, and its own math. Cross a line, and your whole relationship with money resets. Stay below it, and you stay in survival mode. The banks know exactly where these lines are. They sort you in silence. At $40 in your account, you're a fee machine. At $100,000, you get a phone call and a free checking upgrade. At $1 million, a private banker learns your name. At $5 million, they fly to you. Same person, same bank, completely different treatment. The only thing that changed was the number. You don't get a better personality at each level. You get a better number, and the world responds to it. The system is already reacting to your net worth, whether you know it or not. Before you decide what number you're chasing, you need to understand what each one actually does. Let's start at the bottom. At 25, Mark had nothing. Actually, he had less than nothing. He had $4,000 in credit card debt. His net worth was negative. This is where many young adults begin their financial life. The feeling at this level is very specific. Every expense feels like an emergency. A flat tire is a genuine crisis. A surprise $400 bill can ruin an entire month. Studies show roughly 60% of Americans can't cover a $1,000 emergency from savings. That's not a budgeting problem, that's a net worth problem. When your net worth is near zero, you have no buffer between you and disaster. You live on a knife's edge every single day. Every financial decision gets made from fear instead of logic. Take Mark's friend Diana. Diana is 31 and earns a solid income, but she carries $12,000 in credit card debt. Her net worth is still negative. She feels broke no matter how much she earns because the debt eats every raise before she ever feels it. Mark lived in that same trap for years. He took a job he hated because he couldn't afford to quit. He stayed in a lease he disliked because moving cost money he didn't have. This is the invisible prison of zero net worth. It isn't about income. Mark earned a decent salary the entire time. It's about having nothing standing between you and the next bad surprise. People at this level aren't lazy, they're trapped. And the trap is mathematical. With no assets, there's no compounding, no cushion, no leverage. Here's the cruelest part. The system charges you more for being broke. When your balance hits zero, overdraft fees start. A single bad week can cost hundreds of dollars in fees. Payday lenders offer cash at enormous interest rates. Car loans become dramatically more expensive. Being poor is expensive in ways the wealthy rarely see. Every dollar lost to fees is a dollar that never gets to compound. That's why zero net worth is a trap. It actively pulls you backward while you stand still. The first real change in Mark's life didn't happen at $1 million. It happened much earlier. It happened when he built his first small wall against chaos. That number is $10,000. $10,000 won't make you rich, it won't impress anyone at a dinner party, but crossing it changes your nervous system. For the first time, a surprise bill is just a bill. The flat tire becomes annoying instead of catastrophic. Mark hit $10,000 at 28 years old. He still remembers the feeling. It wasn't excitement. It was quiet. The background hum of panic finally went silent. Below $10,000, you make every decision to avoid pain. Above it, you start making decisions to build something. A $10,000 cushion buys you the one thing poverty always steals: the ability to say no. No to the toxic job, no to the bad deal, no to the predatory loan. Mark could finally walk away from things that hurt him. Consider Maya, Mark's younger coworker. Maya is 28 and just reached her first $10,000. She parked it in a high-yield savings account. The math at this level is small but real. $10,000 earning 4% generates about $400 a year. That isn't life-changing money, but it proves something important. Your money can earn without you. For many people, that's the first time they've ever seen it happen. The trap at this level is comfort. Many people hit $10,000, exhale, and stop. They treat the cushion as the destination. It isn't. It's the on-ramp. Once you have breathing room, you can finally capture opportunities like an employer retirement match. Before, you couldn't afford to tie up the money. Now you can. The whole point of breathing room is to use it to build the next wall, because the next level is where the real machine finally turns on. $100,000. Charlie Munger once said, "The first $100,000 is the hardest." The point was simple. Getting your first $100,000 from a standing start is brutal. After that, it snowballs. Below $100,000, your wealth grows mostly from your own savings. You add money faster than your money earns money. You are the engine. Above $100,000, that equation starts to flip. At $100,000 invested, an 8% return generates about $8,000 a year. Left untouched for 5 years, that investment grows to roughly $147,000. The snowball is rolling. At 8%, money roughly doubles every 9 years. 100,000 becomes 200,000, 200 becomes 400,000, 400 becomes 800,000. Every doubling gets bigger because the base gets bigger. The first $100,000 takes years of saving. The second arrives much faster. This is where compounding stops being a concept and becomes something you can actually feel. Mark reached $100,000 at 32. He described it as the moment the math started helping him instead of fighting him. Below this line, you push the boulder uphill alone. Above it, the hill begins tilting in your favor. The trap is lifestyle creep. People get close to the finish line, buy the nicer car, upgrade the apartment, and reset themselves back to the start. Protect the first $100,000. Feed it, because it becomes the seed for everything else. Something else changes here. You stop thinking like a spender. You start thinking like an owner. A market drop stops feeling like a disaster. It starts feeling like a sale. That mental shift is worth as much as the money itself. Now, imagine reaching $500,000. Something genuinely strange happens. Your portfolio starts doing more work than you do. At an 8% return, $500,000 can generate around $40,000 a year. That's a full-time salary in many parts of the country, produced by your investments. Mark isn't there yet. His coworker Carla is. She started investing at 24 and kept her expenses steady while her income increased. At $500,000, she noticed something shift. The fear was gone. In its place was momentum. Below $500,000, it feels like you're carrying your finances. Above it, your finances begin carrying you. Carla negotiates differently. She takes smarter risks. She knows her investments can continue producing income even if life changes. The trap is becoming overconfident. People increase their lifestyle too early and stall their own progress. The smarter move is to let the engine keep running. For many people, this is also the point where coast fire becomes possible. Compounding alone may be enough to carry the portfolio to retirement if it's left untouched. That realization changes how people work. Fear fades. Choice replaces necessity. Then comes the number everyone dreams about: $1 million. A $1 million net worth places you around the 89th percentile of American households. You have more wealth than about 9 out of 10 families. But here's the surprise. It rarely feels the way people imagine. Mark watched his uncle reach $1 million, expecting fireworks. Instead, his uncle felt relief, followed by one quiet question. Is this it? Using the 4% rule, $1 million can provide about $40,000 in retirement income. That's security. It isn't luxury. The fantasy and the reality don't always match. At this level, your decisions change. Taxes become strategy. Estate planning matters. Protecting wealth becomes just as important as building it. The trap is trying to feel rich by spending more. That's how many millionaires quietly slide backward. Inflation has also changed what $1 million means. Housing, healthcare, and education have all become far more expensive. $1 million today doesn't stretch the way it once did. There's another important distinction. A person with $1 million invested is very different from someone whose $1 million is tied up entirely in home equity. One portfolio produces income, the other may not. Real financial independence depends on assets that work for you. Finally, there's $5 million. This is where the question changes. Below this level, you ask, can I afford this? Above it, that question starts disappearing. A well-invested $5 million portfolio can produce roughly $150,000 to $300,000 in passive income. Your investments now earn more than many careers. $5 million places you in genuinely rare territory. Daily financial stress largely disappears. You stop worrying about unexpected bills. You stop worrying about losing your job. The mental space once consumed by money returns to you. That's what many people describe as truly life-changing. The trap isn't financial, it's personal. Some people reach this level and no longer know who they are without chasing more. The real reward isn't the lifestyle, it's the freedom to choose how you spend your time. At this point, wealth can also outlive you. It can educate children, support aging parents, create opportunities for future generations. Money stops being only about your own life. It becomes stewardship. Now, here's the twist. We just walked through 5 levels: 10,000, 100,000, 500,000, 1 million, 5 million. Most people assume the biggest number creates the biggest change. The evidence suggests otherwise. A 2025 survey of millionaires found that happiness barely increased between 1 million and 5 million. The biggest improvements in well-being happened much earlier. The jump from fear to security mattered more than the jump from rich to richer. Going from $0 to $100,000 changes how you think, how you sleep, and how you make decisions. Going from 1 million to 5 million changes far less than most people expect. Here's the line worth remembering. Your life doesn't change when your net worth gets big. It changes when your money starts making decisions for you. That can happen at $100,000. It can happen at $500,000. The exact number matters less than the moment your assets begin out-earning your fear. That's the real threshold, not a number glowing on a screen. It's the moment control shifts. Most people spend decades chasing the fantasy of $5 million while missing the most important milestone much earlier. The first $100,000 changed Mark more than anything that came after it. That's where he stopped surviving and finally started building. The first $100,000 is the hardest because no compounding is helping you yet. After that, the math carries more and more of the weight. The hardest work earns the least glamorous milestone, but it's also the milestone that quietly rewrites your future. Get past it, and everything afterward becomes easier than the part you've already survived. $10,000 buys breathing room. $100,000 starts the engine. $500,000 puts that engine on autopilot. $1 million makes you objectively wealthy on paper. $5 million gives you back your time. But the single most important shift isn't the biggest number, it's the first moment your money works harder than you do. That's the line that actually changes the life. The decision that matters most is choosing the milestone that matches your reality, not someone else's idea of success.